Holy motherfucking shit. Corruption, Empyrean Fire right there on fucking Metal Devastation motherfucking radio, dude. That is some fucking badass shit, man. Epic, insane fucking black metal, dude, from fucking Portland. Fuck yeah, dude. Tell you what, man, let's fucking call Tricia up right now and see what the fuck is going on in the world of Empyrean Fire.
Hello, Zachary.
Hello, Tricia.
How are you, man?
I'm fucking great, man. How are you guys doing?
Doing pretty good. Can't complain. You know, just been in quarantine for a week. So, you know, you get a little stir crazy when you're stuck in the house. But overall, doing good.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So tell us what's going on in the world of Empyrean Fire.
Well, I'm glad you asked. Just today, we released a split. It's really exciting. Pacific Northwest Symphonic Invasion. So there's 3 bands on this split. They're all symphonic black metal, and they're all from this area. It's got Forsaken Eternity, Stormforger, and of course Empyrean Fire. So we have that on all of our band camps. So that's like the latest thing, and we're the only 3 active extreme symphonic metal bands that are active right now from Portland.
Fuck yeah, man. I noticed, and I remember reading that, and I was wondering about that. Like, what do you think it is about your local area that that makes it so that you guys are the only 3 that are devastating on that area of the genre?
Portland, or the Northwest, I think in general, is just so full of amazing, talented musicians. I think that there's way more symphonic black metal bands here, but I also know that they're in other projects. So I think what happens, it's kind of like the ebb and flow. Some symphonic black metal bands, they take a break so that they can work on another project. So, their music is still out there, but they're not active. And right now is the time for, Empyrean Fire, Forsaken Eternity, Stormforger, for us to get our stuff out there. And even our friends in Ceremonial Casting, they are releasing some not new music, but they're remastered tracks from some of their amazing albums. And, so I just think that right now it's just timing, because, like I said, it's an ebb and flow. Other projects arise. So you're like, okay, this project is awesome, but I also have this other awesome project that I want to work on. So I think, just timing.
Oh yeah. So tell us a little bit about the local area there, man. I mean, I know we were all watching the fucking news a while back, and it looked like the whole fucking place was fucking on fire, dude.
It has been a really challenging time for the Pacific Northwest, Portland in general, and I live 10 minutes away from where all the action happens as far as, the protesting goes and the rioting. I mean, I'm 10 minutes away from it. And, the fires, it's been a hard time. It's emotionally, mentally, it's been just, I find every single day, because, I said to myself, yeah, the world is a fucking shit show right now. We've got a fire. You can't even go outside and breathe. You can't go downtown Portland because people are fucking rioting. They're tearing shit up. They're burning stuff. And I was like, wait, Tricia. This is happening. Yes, it is. But you have to, for me, and I'm talking to myself, saying, you have to look at the brighter side of things. You have to stay positive mentally. You have to find those things that make you happy. Like you said, earlier in the show, which made me laugh, whether it's smoking weed, dick sucking, or beer, you gotta find those things, making music, which is where I've chosen to put my energy. You have to find those things, and you just have to focus on them and be the best human that you can be. And that's, everybody, I feel like is responsible for their own behavior, and we have to just monitor ourselves. It was tough, like not being able to go outside to get fresh air. That kind of put me in a slight panic because, I love being outdoors. I love hiking, and when you can't even go outside your own door, and it chokes you up. It was not easy at all.
Yeah, for sure, man. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy what's going on all over the fucking world right now, and it's but it's kind of funny, like, I don't know, like I work with a bunch of fucking a lot of older folks that are primarily Christian church going people, and I'm always fucking with them, because I'm like, I'm going in there, I'm like, it's the fucking end of the world, man. It's fucking, everything's burning down, everybody's dying from diseases, you guys, it's the revelation. Get them all fired up, and they freak out, man. They're like
I feel like it's Halloween too, which is freaking exciting, even though it's a little different this year, but I'm still, I was like, so what do we want to do for Halloween? I haven't shared this with anyone. You guys will be the first that I share with. We came in contact with some friends and family who tested positive for COVID. And it's been a week, so we've been in quarantine for a week, and none of us show any symptoms or anything. But, it's just, I totally forgot where I was going with this, but... So I said, okay, you're in quarantine, so what are you going to do for Halloween, though? You can't really, do much. So I thought I would get some candles. I'm going to, line them up around my bathtub. I'm going to get a big bubble bath going with some wine and a big-ass... I'm not even going to have a glass. I'm just going to bring the bottle in the tub, because I mean fucking business. And then I figured, I'm like, well, what if we have kids, that actually trick-or-treat? So I figured I'm going to put a big, huge bucket outside, and I'm calling it the Fuck It Bucket. And that the Fuck It Bucket is going to be full of candy, and you can take as much as you fucking want.
One kid's going to come up and take the whole fucking thing, man.
Right? They're like, this is my Fuck It Bucket, and nobody's getting any of it.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
What about you guys? What are you doing for Halloween? Yeah,
we're probably gonna do the same thing. Put a big bucket of fucking candy outside, but we're gonna take our kids to a cemetery out in the middle of nowhere, and we're gonna hide a bunch of candy all over the fucking place and let them have like a little scavenger hunt.
Oh, I love that. Sounds like fun.
Yeah. Try to scare them too and shit.
Oh my God, that reminds me. Can I tell you a story?
Yeah, go for it.
So I grew up in Clarksville, Tennessee, and my mother and her mother, I swear this with every fabric of my being, were both just natural witches. And what I mean by that is they never had books to teach them spells. They naturally, my grandmother on my mother's side, it was the weirdest thing, and I have inherited this behavior or whatever. You could buy her a present. Let's say you go to Egypt and you buy grandma a little artifact, and you're like, I'm going to bring this home to her as a gift. She already knew. And it's the weirdest fucking thing. And my mom was the same way, and I am the same way. So my mom also loved to play tricks on, along with the witchy personality. We lived in Clarksville, Tennessee, which is about 30 minutes away from Adams, Tennessee. And Adams, Tennessee is where the Bell Witch is from, like the Bell Witch Farm. And, you know this because you're in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So when I was about 5 or 6, my mom, her partner, and my sister and my cousin, my mom thought it would be fucking funny to drive us out to the Bell Witch Cave. And her and Linda got out of the car. Now, mind you, we're little kids, so we're easily scared. And this was their whole point. They left, they got out of the car. They're like, okay, I want you guys to stay in the car. We're going to go check out the area. Because like I said, it was right next to the Bell Witch Cave. And this was when everything was open. You can't do this now because the farm is very much guarded and stuff. But when I was little, it was still open. And my mom and Linda, like I said, it was pitch black outside. Us kids couldn't see anything. Went to the back of the car and they kind of crouched down and they waited for a couple of minutes and they started shaking the car. And you know, a bunch of little kids in the dark, knowing that they're at the Bell Witch Cave. Yeah, I was shitting my pants. I will never forget that. Scared the hell out of me. They totally nailed it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, the Bell Witch is fucking badass, man. I remember when Merciful Fate reunited and they put out the In the Shadows LP, and I got so excited when I was listening to that because the song The Bell Witch on there, and they made a reference to Tennessee in it, and I was like, yes.
Hell yeah. I went back probably 4 years ago with my mom, and we went to the farm, and we went down into the cave, and I don't know what happened, but after I left that cave for about 3 days, I was sick. I couldn't even get out of bed. I slept almost for 3 days. I didn't have a fever, didn't have a cough, didn't feel sick to my stomach. I just felt drained, like completely drained.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. I don't think because of that, I don't think that I'll ever go back into that cave. I didn't see anything or, anything like that, but I literally was just wiped of all of my energy.
Fuck yeah, man.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Oh, man, it's crazy. So, I mean, did you grow up in Tennessee, Zach?
No, my grandparents lived here, and so we used to come here a lot when I was a kid for summer vacations and stuff and stay with them. So that's pretty much how I, started my history here. And then whenever they got ill and they were older, I came down here to help them. And after they passed away, I just sort of stayed here. I got married and had kids, and the rest is history.
Now, were your parents, were they kind of into Halloween or into the scaring or horror movies or anything?
Oh yeah. My mom fucking loved it, man. She was all about it.
That is so funny. Tell us, do you remember one time when she scared the shit out of you? Or many times?
I don't know. I can't really remember now. It's so long ago, but
No, I gotcha. I totally understand. I just remember a lot because I was that little girl. I was so open, and I still believed in magic. In part, I still believe in magic. And I just feel like I just remember all those things. Like back in the day, you can't do this now, but back in the day, my mom loved Halloween so much that she would open our complete house up, and she decorated the whole house, and she would let people walk through, and each room was decorated as something and scare the shit out of people. But for some reason, she just thought it was so funny. She had a coffin that she would always put in my room, and she would be dressed up as Satan laying in the coffin. And I don't know why, but that just scared me so much. She just looks so devilish. I'm like, you really do look like the freaking devil. What the hell? Somebody bring me some holy water.
That sounds fucking scary, man.
Yeah, it was it was a lot of fun, but I definitely remember, as a little kid, I was easily scared, I guess, because, like I said, everything was like, oh, what the hell's that? What's that? What's that? It was a lot of fun growing up in my household, I think.
The weirdest thing that I remember, like being a kid, is just like going trick-or-treating by ourselves for fucking hours and just being gone like almost all night, and coming home with fucking garbage bags full of candy, and like, it was a different world back then, like nowadays, I don't know, it's just
Oh yeah, no, I agree with you. I did the same thing, and it was safe. I mean, we were told not to eat any candy until we got home so mom could look through everything, but yeah, we went by ourselves, and you're right, came home with a shit ton of candy. I would never, my daughters are grown now, but if I were a parent with a young child, I would not let my kid go by themselves ever.
Yeah, nowadays we're all driving them down the road and sitting in the car waiting for them and shit.
Yeah.
That reminds me of I got a story for you. With my first wife, I was we took her kids trick or treating. And I remember they went out and they got some candy from this lady's house, and they got back in the car. And I love Reese's Pieces, and they were telling me that they had Reese's Cups in the back. So they handed me some, and I was all excited. And I'm sitting there tearing open the package, and I bit into it in the dark in the car. And it felt sort of strange in my mouth, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I turned on the dash light and looked, and there was something moving inside the fucking Reese's cup. It was fucking maggots, dude. There was maggots in the fucking Reese's cup. And I was like, holy shit.
Oh my
and
God.
Then,
I would have,
I
would have been like, oh God.
I guess that particular lady's house that we went to, we found out later that she's like one of those people that goes around and picks up stuff out of the garbage bins, and so I think that's probably what happened. She just she grabbed some old candy that had been sitting out. And,
I would have fucking flipped my shit.
Yeah. Nowadays, I don't eat it in the dark. Like turn on the fucking light and check that shit out when you open it up, because, I mean, what the fuck, dude? Like,
that's really the fuck it bucket right there.
yeah, hell yeah, man, fuck.
Oh man, that's insane. Oh God, I don't know what it is about maggots, but even the sight of them it crawls under my skin.
Yeah.
I would have died. I'm glad that you're still here with us.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's harmless, it's just protein, but fuck, it's good. It's just
That's true. It's very true. It's very true. But man, I just don't know about crunching into one of those things. Oh no.
Hell no. So tell us what's coming up next for Empyrean Fire. You guys got when's the full album coming out? Because I know we're all looking forward to that.
Thank you so much. Deliverance is ready. We're just trying to pick a date. We know probably late December. The whole album will be released. Right now, we're just fine-tuning a few little things, but yeah, probably late December. And, just continuing to write new music and to try to stay sane. And again, we just released a split today. So if you check out our Bandcamps, we have new tracks there, and the Corruption that you'll find on the split is a remastered version. It's special just for this compilation. It's called the Pacific Northwest Symphonic Invasion, and it has Forsaken, Eternity, Stormforger, and Empyrean Fire on there. And they're all three great tracks. The musicianship in all three are amazing. They're unique in their own ways, and the musicians themselves are very, very talented.
Hell yeah. As far as I got some questions from the Thunderous wants to know, what is the meaning of the band name Empyrean Fire?
That's a very good question. Thunderous, that title. So when I was reading the book Paradise Lost, Paradise Regained, which it's a poem that was written, in the 1600s from Milton. So I read that heaven has something above it, which is the Empyrean Fire. So Empyrean Fire is above the heaven stars. And I was like, what? That is awesome. That is the Most High, is in the Empyrean sky. And it's made of fire. So that's where it came from. It came from me reading about that and going, that is freaking cool.
That is fucking cool, man.
Thank you.
Another question. As far as your influences, like what got you into heavy metal as a young kid?
Oh, shit. Honestly, as far as metal goes, I think it was probably Merciful Fate and King Diamond. I mean, I grew up, my mom was a country singer, so I always had music in the household. And my sister and my cousin, they love like hair metal and stuff like that. But my cousin, she was a little more on the darker, harder side. So she liked the Merciful Fate and the Judas Priest. And so, with all those different influences, I think I would have to contribute it to like Black Sabbath, Dio, Merciful Fate, King Diamond, as far as getting me into, the heavier side of things.
Oh yeah. So I mean, at what point did you decide that you wanted to get into making music, though?
When I was about 4. And I say that because I remember, the first song that I ever heard that had an emotional impact on me, like I said, my mom was a singer, so music was in the household a lot, was a song called End of the World from Skeeter Davis. And the song was, I think, back in the either late 50s, early 60s. And when I heard that, I swear it was like that a light clicked for me, and I started singing that song and I never stopped. I went through a very long period of not writing any music or, working on anything. I think, I had 2 children, so I was being a mom, and that's first and foremost for me. Mm-hmm. So, I had to, those things, they weren't gone. They just weren't a main focus at the point. And so now my girls are fully grown adults doing their thing, which means I have my time to do what I like, and that's work on music.
Hell yeah. Thunderous also wants to know, have you played any instruments?
just a mean tambourine. That's not true. I played bass a long time ago. I had a 4-string, beautiful dark blue Ibanez that I used to play. I love stringed instruments. But as far as actual instruments go, other than my voice, it was the bass.
Nice. Thunderhead wants to know, is there going to be a track called Empyrean Fire?
Not on this album, but that's a very good idea, Thunderhead, and I might just use that, if you're okay with it.
Another question from the chat, bathtubs or showers? What do you prefer?
Ooh, it depends. I like both. If I'm like needing to hurry and rush, it's shower. If I'm like ready to relax and just ease into the evening, it's definitely a bath.
Hell yeah!
With lots of bubbles, lots of candles. And I know it sounds funky, but when I'm in my tub, I like to listen to, like, you ever seen those YouTube channels where they're like, music that relaxes you, relieves your stress? So I put one of those channels on and just burn my candles and chill in my tub with my bubbles.
No, yeah. What about blood baths? Do you have any of those fucking red fucking colored fucking bath
like
bombs?
Like the bath bombs?
Yeah.
I don't, but it's so funny when you said that. I thought you were talking about the band Bloodbath, and I'm like, oh my god, I love that band so much. I don't have any of the red bath bombs, but I think that it might be something I can find in my future for sure, because either that or black ones, or black and red.
Hell yeah. Now, as far as DJing, I know obviously you do a show here on Metal Devastation Radio, but you also do a show there at your local station, correct?
I had been doing that for several years. Because of COVID and stuff, unfortunately, we have, laid off a lot of people, and I was definitely one of them that, that fell into that category. But it's okay because it opened up a door for something else, so I'm not upset about it. I'm happy that I had the opportunity to do it for as long as I did, and I learned a lot. But now that time is allocated to something else, and I'm really happy about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I remember when you first joined the station here, and I listened to your show, and I was like, fuck, man, she sounds fucking great. Like, just like really, I don't know, professional and whatnot. And then I looked at your profile and stuff, and I saw that you were doing a local show there at your on local station. I was like, fuck, well, no wonder, man. She's actually like a professional fucking DJ, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's definitely taught me a whole lot. But I think that if I had my choice, I would choose MDR any day over anything because of, the creative freedom that you have is real important to me. And I think that, in other situations, you don't always have that. So it means a great deal to me to be able to have that creative freedom. So I thank you for, allowing me to do a show and to have that resource to help bands to promote music and to give support. So thank you and Metal Devastation Radio. I really, really appreciate it. I know I haven't done my show. It's been kind of a shit show in my house because I bought a new desk and I had to take all of my artwork down in my studio, so it's bare, and there's stuff all over the floor, styrofoam, and I bought some new software for my show that I haven't, been able to fully set up yet. So got a lot of pieces to finalize and put together.
Hell yeah. That live stream that you guys did a while back was fucking hilarious, man. It had me rolling.
That was so much fun. I wish the camera part would have worked better because when we watched it back, it just was so choppy and so slow. And I was like, damn it. It would have been great if it would have worked.
Yeah, it's fucking hard, man. There's a lot of shit that goes into that. That's a whole nother fucking, that's a whole nother world, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't even know that whole shit myself, man. It's like, fuck. Well,
it's pretty.
As far as DJing though, like what got you into wanting to do that? Like what made you decide that you wanted to be a DJ and do shows?
Well, it started at a very early age. I grew up in Clarksville, Tennessee, and we didn't have a lot to do. So I spent a major portion of my time listening to the radio. And, I would go, my mom was nice enough to let me go out to her car and listen on her car radio. So my friend Sherry and I would go out there. We'd listen to the radio. And, I started doing this when I was like 10 or 11. And then it just stuck with me. As I grew older, I was like, God, I really love the radio. I really love the community aspect. I really love the support portion of it. And so as I was in my 20s, my very early 20s, I was like, all right, what do you want to do? Well, I love archaeology, but you have to be in school for that for 8,000 years. So I was like, don't want to do that. I love cosmetology, but you don't really, the only way to be super successful is to have your own business. And I was 20 and I wasn't ready for that. But broadcasting, it was a 2-year program and I love music, and I was like, okay, let's give this a shot. This seems more reasonable at this time for me. And I just went to broadcasting school and I have stuck with it for 20 plus years.
Fuck. That's fucking badass, man.
It's been a really crazy, I know this is really funny. I talked to a Rotary Club. I was a guest speaker for a Rotary Club out here in Gresham on Friday. And it was just really weird because they were like, what are some of the crazy things that you've done? Where has it taken you? And I was like, it has literally taken me all over the world. Just with working with our local rock station here, 101 KUFO, when it was active, that my show there, the 70,000 tons of metal cruise, which is the big cruise ship that books about 60 metal bands, and they, sail all over the world. It took me on that trip 3 times, and we just went, it's the most incredible experience. And I hope that everyone who's a metal fan can have that opportunity to do that, because it just is, it's nothing, you can't describe it. It is one of the most magical experiences ever. And that, for me, radio, if nothing else, I will always remember having that opportunity, because it just made such a huge impact on me. It was so amazing.
Hell yeah! What's some of your favorite memories, or some memories that you have that stick out from the cruise?
Oh God. Well, if you're Mayhem fans, Necro Butcher was, and this is so funny to me because he's such an intense guy. Mayhem, that band, is such an intense band. You remember remember the interview somebody did with him? He's like, fuck you, fuck you. Here's this guy in his Speedos with a drink that's got an umbrella in it. And it was just so funny because you see all the artists in a different light. They're relaxed. Everybody's, you can't go in, it's a ship, so you can only go so many places. So all of the artists, they're accessible. And so it was really fun to see Necro Butcher relaxed, enjoying his drink. I think probably some of the most amazing memories, there's so many, because I was on the very first cruise that they ever did. They allowed me to interview every single band. And that in itself, it was a big feat because it was a lot to research and put together. But it was absolutely amazing. And probably one of my favorite memories was interviewing Chuck Billy from Testament, because, I grew up listening to them, and, Exodus was on the ship too. So it was just, interviewing those two bands and Chuck Billy, it was just such a cool thing. It was just, it's hard to, describe.
Oh, I totally understand. I totally understand what you mean. Like, yeah, for me, I've gotten to speak to a lot of those people on the air, on the radio, and but I've had the opportunity to go and meet with a lot of people and go to shows and stuff, but I just haven't been able to actually take advantage of that part yet because I got little kids. But someday, as soon as I get older, and hopefully this fucking COVID shit fucking goes away, we can get back to normal, and that would really be cool to take advantage of that aspect of it for sure.
Oh my gosh, yeah, definitely. I'm 100% beside you on that, as far as, wanting to make sure that, it would be great to get back to, touring and stuff like that, because, a lot of these bands, that's how we make our living, is off of, touring and merchandise and stuff like that. So definitely. And yes, it would just be anyone who can, I would definitely recommend going on one of those cruises if you can. Take every opportunity that is a good opportunity, because not all opportunities are good. My mom used to say, just because the door is open doesn't mean you should step through. And I never understood what she meant by that. But as an adult, I totally get that, because I'm like, okay, you have all these doors open, but some of them, you should just walk past and not go through.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, hopefully this whole thing will hopefully this thing will end someday and everything will go back to normal. I mean, I don't know. It just, at this point, it does seem kind of fucking bleak, I guess. It just seems to keep coming back, and it's like, fuck, man.
Yeah, definitely. And that's, one of the reasons why I think it's so important, what we do is, we help people, even if it's for an hour or 3 hours or whatever, we help people escape a little bit of that. And that is real important. And not only do we help them just take a break with all of the chaos and stuff, but within that, we also, give support to our community, our music community. And I think that's so helpful and so important, especially in this day and age.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. I mean, people need that right now more than ever.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And that's, that's one of the cool things about this is that we've been spending a lot of time in the studio just working on music. And, usually everybody's exhausted because we're like trying to work. We're doing we're not trying. We're working. We've got families, we've got animals. So all of those things take time. And, now at this point, I've got plenty of time to properly take care of all of them, which in my mind is simply fantastic.
Tell us about your animals, because I know you got some cats.
Oh, yeah, I know that I'm going to be that old cat lady with like 5,000 cats. So we have a stray kitty outside named Chester, who was left behind several times by different people, but we've decided if we ever move, we're going to take him with us. He will no longer ever be alone. He'll always have a family. And then we have a brand new kitty. Her name is Sylvia, and she's like a Siamese kitty, and she's so pretty. Oh, God. And then we have Athena, who is simply so sweet. I've never seen a cat more gentle in my life. And so those are my kitties for now, because I'm sure that will maybe change in the future. I'm really lucky. I think that personally, animals, their spirits are so beautiful, especially cats for me. Cats and dogs, all animals, but I really am drawn to cats and dogs. I just think that they're so beautiful and they're so loving, and they're so innocent, and I wish more people were like that, more innocent and very simple. I think, yeah. maybe.
I know what you mean. Yeah, fuck, man. I'm surrounded by fucking animals here, man. We got a fucking farm on the fucking Metal Devastation fucking compound.
I was gonna say, you have 5 cats?
Yeah, we got 5 cats, 2 dogs, a snake, and 5 chickens.
What? You have a snake?
Yep.
Nice. And 5 chickens?
Uh-huh.
You ain't kidding when you say you have a farm on Metal Devastation Radio.
Yeah, we eat a lot of eggs.
I bet you do. But you know what, though? Fresh eggs taste way better than store-bought. Howdy.
Yeah, there we go.
Sweet. Okay.
I don't know what the fuck happened, man. It was weird. It was like all of a sudden you were behind some kind of echo chamber.
Oh, that is strange. It's Halloween. It's wait, what do they call it? It's a conspiracy. fucking ghosts trying to infiltrate the fucking stream, man. Right? Damn it. Oh, that's so funny.
So I was gonna ask you, like, when you guys are writing music and you're recording songs and stuff, do you guys have like any kind of do you guys do any kind of rituals or anything beforehand, or like how do you set the mood? And
it's so funny. I think I'm probably more of the ritualistic. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess we each do our own kind of thing. I think when Jason and I started writing, he basically gave me his guitar and said, play some things. And so I did. I played a few things, and he took those few things and he built off of it. And that's just, the way that we've done it so far. I think more so because, I write all the lyrics and stuff, and the idea behind this specific album was very ritualistic for me because of the content and, how much I love literature, even though you can't, if you look at something, I'm the worst speller in the world, but I read constantly, and it's just the funniest freaking thing. But, as far as rituals go, I think each of us kind of have our own little thing.
Right on. JMCT wants to know, have you ever performed in any band on stage?
Yes. Many moons ago, I had another band called Manifest. And it was so funny because we had one original song, but we covered Troop of Doom. We covered Rain and Blood and some Metallica songs. So Slayer, Metallica, Sepultura. And so we booked a show. Our very first show was in the basement of this church. And we were all singing Slayer songs. So that was really fun. We were the closing band, and the person who had booked the show, they booked too many bands. So what happened was, by the time we got to our time slot, they'd only given us 10 minutes. We had 10 minutes to perform. We were like, what the fuck? It's not our fault. You booked too many bands, and now you're trying to cut our set list short. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm just going to fit every single song that we have in as much time as we can. And even when you tell me I have to stop, I'm going to keep going. And so that's what we did. We did all of our songs in one long song, and it was great. And they didn't stop us. They let us finish. I'll never forget, though, when I stepped off stage, one of the girls was like, that was very scary. And I was like, because we, like I said, we covered Slayer's Rain and Blood, and that was the last track that we closed with. It was really funny.
Hell yeah! Another question. What's one band that you would like to perform with? If you guys could play with anybody.
Oh shit! Probably. Well, only one. I really, and I know that the genres are very, very different from each other, but if I were going to choose same genres or similar, I'd probably really enjoy touring with Dimmu Borgir. I would also love to do Merciful Fate or King Diamond. I would also, if I could break outside of the genre, I would really, really be honored to work with Vardruna on a larger scale. If I'm going super local, the three bands, it would be really cool too to, play with Ceremonial Castings, because they're, in my opinion, they're one of the oldest symphonic black metal bands that I'm aware of that came from this area. But it would also be really cool. See, this is just for me, it's like a loaded question. I'm like, I can't really do one band, but I would do Forsaken Eternity, Empyrean Fire, and Stormforger. We're all three very similar. We have that symphonic sound, and it would be a cool live show. And I would love to include Ceremonial Castings as far as local stuff goes.
Hell yeah! What if you could have your own festival?
Oh shit! That's another loaded question. My metal mind is there would be so much to consider. I would love to see Dead Congregation again. I'll never forget that band. They're from Greece. They came to Portland many moons ago, and they played this tiny little club, and it was the most intense show I've ever seen. It was packed, and it was good, and they were solid, and oh man. So Yeah, as far as my own festival, that would be legit and lots of fun. And it would, include a lot of different genres because personally, I really love black metal, and, symphonic black metal. But, I also like a lot of different things. And I would want something to help everybody enjoy their, the show. They have different flavors, different genres. So I would definitely try to include something, as many as I could, different, whether it's just metal, black metal, symphonic black metal, black and death metal.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, Tricia, I'm about out of questions for you. Is there anything else you want to let your fans know?
Just thank you for the support. Really appreciate it. Like I said, we just released our split with Forsaken, Eternity, Stormforger, Empyrean Fire. It's the Pacific Northwest Symphonic Invasion. You can find it all on our Bandcamp pages. Our new album, our debut album, Deliverance, will hopefully be out at the end of this year. So just keep that in mind. And again, thank you to Metal Devastation Radio for hosting us and having us. And we really appreciate everyone's support. It's been very amazing. And just can't say thank you enough.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, we love having you be here for sure.
Thank you so much, Zach. I really appreciate it.
Well, before I let you
Halloween, everybody.
Hell yeah. Before I let you go, I got to get you to make us a station tag, all right?
You got it.
All right. Whenever you're ready, say something like, "This is Tricia from Empyrean Fire, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio."
This is Tricia from Empyrean Fire, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio.
Fuck yeah. All right. Well, thanks a lot thanks a lot for taking the time to talk to us. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to blast some more Empyrean Fire for these motherfuckers so they can go crazy, all right?
Thank you so much. You guys are the best.
Hell yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
There you have it, folks. Empyrean Fire live on the Zach Moonshine Show with Metal Devastation motherfucking radio. Like I said earlier, put your speakers in your fucking windows, put them in your front lawns, put them wherever the fuck you can. If you don't see U-Haul trucks everywhere tomorrow, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but you ain't turning it up loud enough. Crank it up loud.